Hello everyone, it's Angela back with some more poetry for you. Sadly, this year has begun with more horrific stories of war and suffering. It isn't my place to preach politics here, but when every religion in the world teaches us to love your neighbour as yourself, why on earth do people fight? That is the question. We obviously still have much to learn. When will they ever learn? Are the lyrics Donovan sings in his song asking, where have all the flowers gone? Well, I'm not about to burst into song, but I'd like to introduce you to this month's poet, who is Henry Reed, one of our famous war poets. Henry Reed was born in Birmingham, England on February the 22nd, 1914. He attended the University of Birmingham and served in naval intelligence during World War II. Oh, quite a bright chap. He also worked on the Enigma Code at Bletchley Park, mainly because of his ability to speak Japanese. After the war, he worked for the BBC, writing dramas, poetry and radio plays until 1979. His only volume of poetry, A Map of Verona, was published in 1946, where you'll find his much-loved poem, The Naming of Parts, and this is what I'm going to read for you today. As a thought, how often have you found yourself in an unpleasant place or situation, only to wish you were somewhere else? Well, this poem makes me think of the soldiers and people caught up in war that are too dreaming of the places they'd rather be. Naming of Parts by Henry Reed. Today we have naming of parts. Yesterday we had daily cleaning, and tomorrow morning we shall have what to do after firing. But today we have naming of parts. Japonica glistens like coral in all of the neighbouring gardens, and today we have naming of parts. This is the lower sling swivel, and this is the upper sling swivel, whose use you will see when you are given your slings. And this is the piling swivel, which in your case you have not got. The branches hold in the gardens their silent, eloquent gestures, which in our case we have not got. This is the safety catch, which is always released with an easy flick of the thumb. And please do not let me see anyone using his finger. You can do it quite easily if you have any strength in your thumb. The blossoms are fragile and motionless, never letting anyone see any of them using their finger. And this you can see is the bolt. The purpose of this is to open the breech, as you see. We can slide it rapidly backwards and forwards. We call this easing the spring. And rapidly backwards and forwards the early bees are assaulting and fumbling the flowers. They call it easing the spring. It is perfectly easy if you have any strength in your thumb, like the bolt and the breech and the cocking piece, and the point of balance, which in our case we have not got. And the almond blossom, silent in all of the gardens, and the bees going backwards and forwards. For today we have naming of parts. Warfare today is taking place with new AI technology. Much has changed. Maybe AI can teach us to live in peace. It's a thought. Could be a possibility. Recently, I've been busy writing and illustrating my new children's book, which I am hoping will be out later this year. Plug, plug. I've also written some poetry for children, one of which is about artificial intelligence. The world is changing so rapidly, it is inevitable that we shall have to accept the fact that AI is here to stay. This poem is simply called My AI, as spoken by a 7-year-old. My AI is an awesome robot who I've decided to name Eddie. He tells me all I need to know even when my dinner's ready. Eddie wakes me in the morning when I have to go to school, sits with me in my lessons, which my friends think is mega cool. I'm the envy of my classmates. Robots are the latest trend. Soon everyone will have one. I think they'll rule us in the end. Eddie does all my homework, gets all the answers right. Ed serves me supper, runs my bath, and reads to me at night. I ask Ed loads of questions like, "Where's my mum and dad?" Ed keeps track of them on Snapchat, which seems a little sad. Eddie is my minder, the best friend I ever had. Eddie has the answers to everything, never says things that are bad. Eddie is kind and patient. In Ed I put my trust, and I really don't know what I'd do if Ed disappeared or went bust. Eddie never shouts at me. Ed helps me in every way. Maybe I can be like Eddie when I grow up one day. Thank you. Well, that's all I have for you today. But please don't forget to smell the flowers. Thanks for listening.